You're in the offensive zone, your place for Leafs hockey. Here's our next segment. I think you'll find it fun. Coach, where were you last week? Heck, where were you this week?
Yeah. So Monday, I got a chance to take in the Leafs in Carolina. Not great timing for our club to go in against an unbeaten Carolina team with regular season Fred in goal. We know regular season Fred can play. Yeah, so
not usually October Fred though.
He's hurt. Oh no, he stopped. Yeah, hurt later in the year, right? Yeah. Interesting times. Wouldn't call them refined hockey fans, but I did get chirped. Leaving the rental car facility, guy, you get there to the gate, guy checks your license. He sees that I think I pretty much have this on, and he goes, "You in town for the game?" I'm like, "Yeah, we gave it away." And he says, "Well, pretty ironic, isn't it, that the guy who used to play goal for you, he's playing for us." And he's unbeaten, and you guys are struggling. And I said, yeah, hey, that's great for you. Let me know when you meet playoff Fred. I think you haven't seen him yet. And I drove off. You know why? Because we were 2-4 at the time. I'm not going to chirp that guy. They're undefeated. But anyway, I found it interesting that the rental car guy knew something about hockey. Very good. Good for him. The venue was okay. That's a decent barn. It's on the North Carolina State campus. So there's really nothing around other than a parking lot. It's not a downtown facility or anything, but the Wolfpack Stadium's across the street. It was okay. There were probably a couple hundred Leaf fans, a couple hundred jerseys in there. A lot less than Buffalo or even Dallas. There's a bunch here where I live that come out. But way less than the last game I went to was game one of the last series we lost against Boston. And there were maybe, a dozen guys in jerseys like me, brave enough to go do that. So It was okay. And the game was fine, too. Like, I had great seats, third row, right behind the goalie. Tough second period, though. All the goals were at my end. Matthews scored early, and then the 3 goals in the second were coming my way. Which was tough, but what are you going to do? I think Mike or Devo, you were asking me at the end to say, "Hey, what's something good about Raleigh? What's good to do? What's good to eat?" There's nothing. There's So hey, it's at the offensive zone. If you want to, you Carolina people following us here, feel free to vent.
Right.
So I should take that off my bucket list.
Yeah, you don't need it. That's right. Yeah. I got a few coming up. We'll do that in future segments. The next one I'm doing actually is a football game, Arizona State. I'm going to that. So we'll talk about that next time.
Okay.
All right.
So I think we're going to run into the mailbag here.
All right. Okay, well, what we are going to do is try and take some questions from folks. So feel free to bombard us. Use your social media. I don't know if you got your Twitters or your YouTubes or your emails, but I think on this our contact info and all that stuff will be posted below. So be sure to smash like as much as you can and subscribe, absolutely, and then send us anything you want to know. So we actually do have one. Here, let me just read it. From our good buddy Chris Eben, and he said, how do the Leafs fix this team with 3 players using up most of the cap? And I guess I looked at the numbers. What is it? 3 guys making 41%, and then including Nylander, 4 guys making 50%. So, I'll throw that to you first. Like, how do we do it?
Well, first off, you got to avoid global pandemics. Because we were built for the cap to be rising sky high, right? And that's unfortunate. But But seriously, other than that, the big four have to produce. Those guys are making $40 million. They have to produce. They're not yet. I think they will. We showed the tweet earlier about the advanced stats. So the geeks think it's coming. It's got to come, right? So those guys have to play well. You need good goaltending, and you can't go get a Bobrovsky for $9 million, right? Those guys, you need goaltending that can outperform their contracts.
Yes,
but also. And you can see they've been hit and miss on a bunch of these guys. You need 2 or 3 guys every year to come in on basically league minimum, and contribute. So Spezza, he's been great.
yeah,
That
best
guy's
player on the team.
You could argue 24 has been pretty good for what he does too. I wish he would have beat the shit out of somebody in Chicago to get us going. But there's another guy. But you got Comp, Cachet, you got Richie's making a little more money, but you got to hit on some of those guys every year.
Bunting.
Yeah. But then if they do well, like Tyler Ennis way back, he can go get his money next, and then you got to find the next guy the next year.
You got to get
because you can't pay that guy in the next deal. So I'm not saying it's easy, but if it's gonna work, that's the way it's gonna work, in my opinion.
Yeah, and getting back to what I was saying before, I mean, you just can't afford to have a guy making $3.5 million playing a minimum wage. Quality.
Yeah, you got to have guys on either side of the. If you have guys on one side of the bell curve, everybody else got to be on the other side. You can't have a guy in the middle, right? Unless he's outperforming that contract, which Brody did last year. Not so much this year.
Yeah. Right.
Not yet.
Right.
I agree, and there's some Leaf fans right now maybe watching this thinking to themselves, well, look, if you look last year, your stars all performed. They were great. Your goalie, which wasn't supposed to be your goalie, came in, was great. And even in the playoffs, other than the fact that the Stars didn't score, the goalie was pretty good. The D was pretty solid. The thing is, it's a long year, and then it's a long, brutal playoff. And 9 times out of 10, your best player has to be the goalie. So, I mean, the lottery, the winning lottery ticket usually has a goalie's name on it. 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. And truth be told, like, the teams that all did well in the playoffs and will continue to do well are teams that do great on special teams. And really, there's no reason why the Leafs can't be great at special teams. Absolutely none. Like, their power play should be top 5, top 10 for sure. And, like, the fact that it's not, it's just, it's the issue. If the power play was ripping it up, the record, we wouldn't be chomping at the bit, and the media wouldn't be losing their minds.
I was texting with Coach last night during the game, and I remember when they were on 4-on-4, Matthews takes the puck at his goal line, skates through everybody, and gains the zone. It's 4-on-4. How about add another guy on your team? Can't we do that? It was effortless. Like, it was honestly effortless. It looked like he was in practice. And then all of a sudden, add a guy to our team. And we can't do it. Everyone's squeezing their stick. I have a sneaking suspicion that some of our stars like the go wild technique. And they don't want a lot of structure. They can't play under it. And when they all play under it, they freeze up.
Hey, Devo, you mentioned him carrying it in. How about the play where he carried it in 2-on-1 with Tavares, and he throws him sauce about mid-shin?
Yeah.
Shoot the puck.
Yeah.
That's what there's no one on this earth better than him right there. Shoot the puck.
Yeah.
Oh, he's killing me. And I love the guy. I'm not going to bury him like I did 15 earlier. But shoot the puck.
Yeah,
hard to believe on a 2-on-1 if you're a defenseman. You're guarding Matthews and Tavares coming on you, that you have to worry about the pass. It probably shocked everyone the goalie didn't play Tavares at all. I don't know if you watched the replay. The goalie just squared up he's like 6 feet out of the net, squared up to Matthews. If Matthews, what are you going to do? But he still should have shot.
Right. Maybe Ovechkin. Of the 6 billion people on this planet, on the 2-on-1, right? Maybe you want to, if the other guy has the puck, if the other guy's Ovechkin, maybe you let him shoot. Everyone else has to get it to Matthews because He has to shoot.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So there you go, Chris. More shooting for Matthews. That's how you beat the Caps.
Hey, thanks.
Hope that answers your question.
When we get T-shirts, you get one. Thanks for our first mailbag.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Cheers.
All right, this is our last segment here, guys, and it's probably the most interesting one. It's the one everyone's going to pay the most attention to because this is where you lay it on the line. Mm-hmm. We're going to make some predictions. I want to know what's going to happen. Our next game is against our Atlantic Division foe. They're sitting out right above us in the division. No one would have predicted this, but it's Detroit. And so, what do you think?
I'm still a believer, so I'm calling a 6-5 Leaf win. I think one problem you make in sports all the time, and hockey is no different, is we take a look at last year and we assume teams are bad based on last year. Look at San Jose. I think they're sitting atop the West, and with a lineup full of guys who've been there and done it. So I think Detroit's a young up and coming team. They got lots of speed. They have no problem scoring. They actually had no problem scoring last year either, and they score a lot. They're not great defensively, so you hope you make inroads and they can get off and get that power play going and scoring. But holding Detroit down will be actually a lot tougher than people think. So I'm calling for a bit of a track meet, but I think that's exactly what this Toronto team needs. They need a track meet. They need to get their stars going, and they need that confidence and the swagger back. So I'm hoping and calling for a track meet, and we'll say a misconvert 6-5 win.
Okay, that's a good call. I agree. Detroit has a rare combination of size. They got some big boys in that lineup, and then they got some speedsters in that lineup that just blow by you. Underrated speed on that team. One of the Leafs' biggest problem is giving up odd man rushes. We talked about it earlier. So Detroit's going to have their chances without a doubt. I'm not going quite as high as you, and I think that the Leafs have showed a little jam in the last couple of games. I think they come out of this one 4-2. Coach?
Well, 6-5. So is Hutchison playing 6-5? Come on, man. We talked up 36 all podcasting. So look, I got a 4-1 win. And I think 34 scores again. He's going to get going. So it's just a matter of when, right? I know Detroit's better and they're supposedly big and fast. They're terrible. It will be fun. 4-1. Until they score the first goal, then I'm going to be losing my shit again like last night. So we'll see. But, hey, I got a prediction outside of that game. I have, as you know, I've got some connections, being the coach. One of which is the coach, Mike Babcock. And I'm saying, I think with all this, the stuff going on with the Chicago Blackhawks 2010, all that, we're not going to touch on that here. But I think Quenneville's going to be out, and I think Mike Babcock's the next coach of the Florida Panthers pretty soon. So that's my call. And Coach, if you're listening, thanks for almost offering to pick up my dinner that night, and I could use some tickets.
Well, that's a bold prediction.
Way, hey, Devo, by the way, so when I met him there, I tell him, I talk to him, big Leaf fan, all that stuff, and he goes, hey, that's great. Seemed like a good guy, good group of people at your table, it's good. And I said, hey, and then, so I shake his hand, he was uncomfortable, and I took the picture, and then he says, and then he's trying to get away. I'm like, look, I thought they let you go too early. I'm a Babcock fan, right? And
me too.
I said, I don't think you got a fair shake from those guys. Goes, that's all right. They're paying for this dinner. Thanks a lot. Have a good night. That was it.
Great line. Well, you heard it here first, folks. And listen, I want you to smash that like, hit that subscribe button, get all your content here. Find out first about all your Leaf action right here at the Offensive Zone. You have yourself a great day. Cheers, folks.
Yeah.